Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. This video is part of the What Would You Make Challenge for November. As always, the hosts of the What Would You Make Challenge are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Christine from Divine Designs. This month's guest host is Cindy from Z9 Designs. I will have links to their channels as well as a playlist so that you can enjoy all of the videos in this month's What Would You Make Challenge. Okay, let's get into it. For this first project, I am making a North Pole sign. I'm just taking this board that I had used to make a pumpkin patch sign, and I am going to give it a fresh coat of black paint. Needed one coat of paint because it had already been painted before. The wood didn't soak up a lot of paint, so just one coat of the black was enough to completely cover the board up so that I could then do with it what I wanted to do. So after I got the front part painted, then I also painted the sides of the sign as well. I didn't paint the back because it's not going to be seen, but I did paint the front and both and all of the sides all the way around the sign. And I thought I had cut all of this out, but apparently I did not, and I am going to be showing all of that to you. Okay, there we go. Now I'm using the same base that I used for my pumpkin patch sign as well. And I'm just giving it a fresh coat of green paint also on the post part. This was just an old spindle that I had fixed to a piece of 4x4. So I'm just giving it a fresh coat of green paint, and I'm not doing full coverage on this, but I'm just making it look, a little better. And the color that I'm using, the green, is Moss by Waverly Chalk Paint. Okay, now I have the stencil. It came from a pack that I got from Temu, and I'm just using white apple barrel paint to put my stencil on. I'm just taking a stencil brush and just pouncing up and down right where my letters are. And if I get any outside of, because there's other parts of designs on there, then I just take some black paint and go over top of it. Now I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to secure my board to my post. And I'm also going to use, here in a second, you'll see I turn it over, and I'm going to take some jute rope and staple that on to help hold it on. There's also some nails that are in the post, and I do end up pounding those down in, so that way the board will stay nice and secure onto my post. Then I have this giant ornament. I'm not sure where you can get these from, but my husband brought it home to me, and I decided to use this as the top on my post. And this does not work, and I'll show you how I fixed that later on. But I did use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to hold it on there, and it stayed just fine at first, but then it fell over, hit me in the head, and the bulb fell off. So I'll show you, like I said, I'll show you how I fixed that to make sure that it stays on better later. And then I have this mesh. I got this last year at the end of Christmas from Dollar Tree. It was half off. I got the red and the white both then. And I'm just taking a piece. I'm not sure how long these were how long the pieces were that I cut, but I made sure that my red and my white were the same length. I want to say they were probably about 2 feet in length. And like I said, I just cut those off, and then I'm going to stretch it out, each color separately. And then I'm just going to start scrunching it. So once I get it stretched out, then I'm just going to start scrunching it up like that. You can see how I'm doing, just scrunching it up, pushing it from one hand into my other. And then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and I'm going to wrap that around to secure it in the middle. And I'm going to do the same thing here with the white. I'm just going to put those two together and then use the pipe cleaner. And then I'm going to use these ribbon you can see that I have laying there on the table. I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to make sure that I have the same length as what my mesh is. So I measured that against there, and then I'm going to just take my ribbon, and I had just enough of this ribbon. It was just long enough. I got this at Walmart last year. The other ribbon I got in a pack from Temu. It was 4 different rolls of red and green ribbon, and I got those, like I said, from Temu. And then I just cut all 3 of my pieces, make sure they fit. And then I had this one backward, so I just turned it around. And then I'm just going to put all of my ribbon, once I get them folded right how I want them, then I'm just going to take those and use that pipe cleaner to secure those to the top of the mesh. And then you'll see here in a minute, it's on the sign, but I used my staple gun to secure it on there. And then I just fluffed it all out, just, make it look all nice and poofy on my sign. Okay, now I have these bulbs. I have two red ones and then a lighter green and a darker green. This matches the ribbon that I used. And I'm just taking my ornament hooks and I am going to dangle them one from the other. So the red one's going to hang from the green one, from the dark green one, and then the light green one's going to hang from a red one. And then I'm going to hang the last red one from the light green one. And then once I get all of my hooks on there, I made sure to cross my hooks over real well so that the bulbs would not come off. And then I just hang the ornaments onto the ribbon. Just separate it, find a good spot where it'll hang really well, and then just poof my ribbon back up around the hook. Okay, and now I have this little elf that came from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to dress her up a little bit. And I'm taking this ribbon and I'm going to fold it into pleats. So I just fold it back and then back. See what I'm saying? I fold it up and then I fold it back. And I just keep doing this until I think it took 6 pleats to cover the front of her skirt. Now, if you wanted to completely go all the way around, you would use a longer piece of ribbon, but you're really only going to see the front of her skirt. And I decided not to use a whole bunch of ribbon for that. So now I'm taking my hot glue gun and I am just securing the top of each of the pleats, not the bottom, just the top. And then once I get that all nice and glued down and my glue starts setting up, then I'm going to glue that onto my elf. But first I'm going to cut this tag off because it's really long and it was sticking out. Okay, so now I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue the ribbon down on top of her little red skirt. And I'm going to do this on, all the way so that way it stays on really nice. I'm also going to take a piece of ribbon and glue that in between where the two meet. Oh, first I'm taking the bottom pleats and I'm pulling those out. That's why I didn't put any glue on them, because I wanted to pull it out so her skirt looks poofy. Okay, now I'm going to glue this ribbon on just to give a nice clean edge to where the two pieces meet. Her body, her original body, and then the ribbon just makes it look a little cleaner. So just put glue all the way across to completely secure it and wrap it around the back side. Then I just cut off my ribbon. I'm also going to be adding some more embellishments to her. I do plan on getting elves to use as each of my grandchildren. So this one's going to be my oldest grandchild. So I'm going to dress her up that how I think she would like her. So then I'm going to glue this pom-pom on there. Whenever I got this one, I wasn't originally thinking of doing for each of my grandchildren, but I love doing this one so much that I thought that would be a great idea. And then to glue the pom-poms on her feet, I just flattened it out because there's no stuffing or anything in it. I just flattened it out so that way it would make gluing the pom-pom onto the front of the shoe a lot easier. And you can see there how it looks like that. And now I'm taking some jingle bells and I'm going to glue those to her ears so she has little jingle bell earrings. I got these little jingle bells at Dollar Tree as well. I got a pack that had both red and green in it. And there she is. Look how cute she is. And I'm going to glue her to my North Pole sign here. I'm just going to take some hot glue and put that onto the back of her hat and then push that onto my pole. And then I'm also going to take, you're going to see here, my staple gun and staple her skirt onto that 4x4 so that way she will definitely not be going anywhere. And then I'm going to take one of these little candy canes that I got from Temu. It's a red and green candy cane. And I'm going to glue that into her hand so she will be holding a candy cane. I think she is just adorable. Okay, now here I am fixing this so that way that ornament will not come off the top again. And I'm just taking my drill bit and drilling a hole down into the top of the spindle. And I kind of had to waller it around because it just wasn't quite big enough for me to set the ornament down in. And then I just went through the same process, putting the E6000 on and the hot glue. And then I just put the ornament, the little hanger part right down inside the hole that I had drilled. And then it was nice and secure. Okay, and now I am taking some white paint and I'm going to do this so that it looks like snow. And I'm just using like a little chippy brush so that way it wouldn't be so uniform. It, just helped it make it look more like how snow would actually be and not, like I said, just not be uniform. So I put that on both sides, and then I also take this faux snow from Dollar Tree and I sprinkle that on the glue while it is still wet. I just used a little bit because it didn't take much to give the effect that I wanted, especially since I used the white paint. Now, if I had used Mod Podge, I'd probably want a little more of the snow, but using the white paint, the snow just kind of helped add just a little extra effect. And I'm also going to do that to the top of the bulb, so that way it looks like snow has fallen on top of there, because if it's going to be on top of the sign, of course it's going to be on top of the bulb. So that's what I did. And then I'm also going to put snow on the base where behind the little elf girl. I'm just going to once again take my white paint and I'm going to dab that on top of the Spanish moss that I had put on there. And then I'm going to use hot glue to help hold the snow on top of here. I didn't preheat my glue gun, so the paint was just about dry by the time my glue gun was heated up, so I just done it that way. And there we have that. Okay, now for this next project, I am using this little wood stocking that I got from Goodwill. I paid 59 cents for it. And I have this piece of scrapbook paper I got in a pack from Temu. And I'm going to be decoupaging that little snowman onto my stocking. So I just flipped it upside down and traced the stocking onto my scrapbook paper and cut it out. Once I get it all cut out, then I'm going to take my Mod Podge and put that onto my little stocking and secure the scrapbook paper onto the stocking. One thing about projects like this is you can customize them to whatever suits your decor needs. You can use whatever kind of paper, a napkin, just anything. You can even use tissue paper if you have a printer and print out your own images. There's lots of videos that show you exactly how to do that. Okay, then once I get my image, on there aligned and all that, then I'm taking this. It's I'm not sure what it is, but it's kind of like furry kind of stuff that I'm going to use to put onto the top of my stocking. This was a little thin, so I doubled it up. And then I'm going to just put some hot glue on the top, and then I'm going to glue that on. But first, I forgot to do this part earlier, so I'm doing it now. I'm taking my sanding block and just getting off the extra scrapbook paper that was hanging over the edge, just working in a downward motion to get that off of there. Okay, now once I got my hot glue on, then I put my little fur piece on there, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim it off so that it more closely follows the line of the stocking. So just trim that all off, nice and neat. I took the wire, there's like little loopy parts where it goes through the holes in the top, and I bent that back. So I'll be pushing those back over in a minute. Now I'm going to add some greenery onto the fur part. I just cut some little green pieces off of the pine stem that I had. And then I glue on a little pine cone, and then I just take some beads. I had some red berries, but they were just a little too big, I thought, for this piece. So I'm just using these red beads. Just cut some of those off and then glued those on there. And then that gave me the effect that I was looking for. And then there was some old yucky raffia on there originally, and I cut it off and tied on a ribbon. You'll see that in the end. Okay, now for this third project, I am making a Grinch countdown, Christmas countdown. So what I'm doing is measuring my board, finding my center, and then I'm putting these candy canes there because I'm going to be putting candy canes in the middle. So this will help me keep my two words separated. So the first word I'm writing out is Grinchmas, and then my second word will be countdown, and then there will be two candy canes in between the two words. Now I'm just freehanding this, but there are so many different ways you can do this. You can get stencils on Amazon. You just type in Grinch letter stencils and they'll pop right up. And there's other kinds of stencils also that are usually in the pack as well. But that would make doing a sign like this super, super easy. So, like I said, I'm just freehanding it, but you could use vinyl. You could even just use stickers. whatever you want to do. Okay, then I put those on there, and then I'm doing my second word. It was off camera. I got a new camera and I'm still getting used to adjusting it just right. Now for my Grinch green color, I'm using a color called Apple Orchard by Folk Art. And I think it is a great Grinch color. It's just almost perfect. So I'm just doing the word Grinch with the green color. Once again, that was Apple Orchard by Folk Art. And then I'm also one of the candy canes. I am painting the stripes on it with that green. Now the red that I'm using is Scarlet Red by Fanta Story. I think this is a really nice color that complemented the green very nicely. I also painted the other candy cane, the stripes on it with that color. And then the whole word countdown, I painted in that red. Now once again, I'm using my tape measure and I'm finding the center, and I made a dot, and then I am going to make sure on either side of that dot I have 12 more, so that way I have a total of 25 dots. And then I just take my drill gun and drilled holes in. Now you can see this board, how thick it is, and it didn't allow for the candy canes to hook. If you want your candy canes to completely hook, then use a piece of MDF. What I'm going to do instead is take some baker's twine and put it through the holes and tie it on there, and then that way I can hang the candy canes from the sign. Now I got cherry flavored candy canes. I can't say that it's necessarily my favorite flavor because I like things like pina colada, and all that, but I like the colors of the cherry candy canes. So what kind of candy canes would you use if you made a countdown sign like this? Okay, now of course we're not finished. I'm going to, one for each of the holes, I'm going to count down. So I'm going to start with 25 and count down to 1. And I'm just writing this on with a black permanent marker. See how that is? Just like that. Now I'm taking a piece of wire. This was just an old rusty coat hanger that I have cut up a couple times to use for hangers. And I like to crisscross my staples on my wood signs so that it's nice and secure. Then I'm taking this ribbon. This is another of the ribbon that came in the pack from Temu. And I'm just doing like the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle, and then taking my baker's twine and tying it up. And then I'm going to tie that one to my wire. And then I'm also going to, because I don't want to cover up the wording that is on the sign, I want it to be able to be read just fine. You'll see how I take care of that in just a minute. I did dovetail my ribbon ends. I didn't show that. Okay, now I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to staple that ribbon in place so you can see how it goes just like that. It looks good. Okay, and there that one is. All right, let's take one final look at all of these projects.
It's Christmas time, the season of cheer. Santa's on his way, he's almost here. With sleigh bells ringing so sweet and bright, filling hearts with joy and light. Tiny tots are fast asleep, dreaming of the gifts they'll keep underneath the Christmas tree. A magical sight you see. Santa's workshop is abuzz, with elves hard at work, what a fuss. Wrapping presents big and small to bring joy to one and all. Oh, it's Christmas time, the season of cheer. Santa's on his way, he's almost here. The sleigh bells ringing so sweet and bright, filling hearts with joy and light. Through the chimney down he slides, with a twinkle in his eyes, leaving presents one by one, till his nighttime work is done. A world of wonder filled with...
Okay, that's all for this video. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. Be sure to check the description box for the playlist link so that you don't miss out on all of the great wood DIY inspiration. And go visit Brenda's, Christine's, and Cindy's channels as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.